Hi, this is Kevin Conroy, and you're listening to the Geekcast Radio Network.
Hey guys, Raphael here, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Did you say podcast? Dudettes! You're listening to a podcast on the Geekcast Radio Network.
Hi, this is Bobby Curnow, Chief Turtle Editor at IDW Publishing, and you are going to have a shell of a good time inside the pull bag.
You've just jumped inside the pull bag. Join TFG1 Mike and the rest of the comic crew here at the GCRN as they make their great escape into comics. From DC, Marvel, and Image to IDW, Boom Studios, and Zenescope, we have everything right here. We cover things like Transformers, He-Man, superheroes, TMNT, and Radiant Black. Yeah, we have all that and so much more. It's all inside the pull bag here on the Geekcast Radio Network. So, without further ado, it's time to talk about the comics we're reading right now, here inside the pull bag.
Hello and welcome to the pull bag. This is episode 413. That's right, folks, 413 episodes of this podcast. I'm, of course, TFG and Mike. Joining me once again is Mr. Joe Reed. Hello, sir. How the hell have you been?
Hello. It's still the pandemic. It's like the day that never ends. Do I even need to put pants on anymore? I guess I do when I go get comics, though.
Yeah, when you go get comics, you have to. But when you're podcasting, probably not.
No.
Yeah, it is June 2021, and as I've said since the pandemic started, I don't think the pandemic is going to end anytime soon, even though most people will think, oh, we have the vaccine now. That means we can... No, stay home. Mask up, stay home. Mask up while you're... And we are here to continue our TMNT coverage here inside the pull bag, but this time around it's not just TMNT coverage, it's also Batman coverage, because we are concluding the DC Comics IDW Publishing crossover trilogy series, Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. That's right, this was written by James Tynion IV, art by Freddie E. Williams II, with Kevin Eastman as well. Yes, I would assume. Jeremy Caldwell on colors. Tom Napolitano is the letterer. Freddie E. Williams II and Jeremy Caldwell do the collection cover arts. And Batman, obviously, created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger. Something I said in one of our more recent episodes, this might be a couple months ago. I don't understand why I love that Bill Finger is finally getting credit after all this time, like he should have been this whole time. Mm-hmm. I do not like, and I refuse to say with. Notice I said Batman created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger. In the comics, it says Bob Kane with Bill Finger. I hate that. It needs to be Bob Kane.
Somebody's lawyer negotiated something.
Yeah, probably, most likely, Finger's daughter, Bill Finger's daughter or something like that. But the thing of it is I will always say Bob Kane and Bill Finger. It's just like, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. It's, Siegel and Schuster. It's not, whatever.
Yeah, and we'll never know the real history to that, but I've seen enough documentaries that make me kind of think, like, is it Bill Finger with a little bit of help from Bob Kane? It just kind of feels like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Bill had all the big ideas, and Bob just maybe, I don't know. I don't know that whole history. So anyway, we are here to talk about Batman TMNT 3 from IDW and DC Comics. And holy crap, what an ending. What a story to end this. Like, when we did episodes 1 and 2 of this series, I was not sure where part 2 was going to go, because it was all Bane and everything else, and I felt lost beginning this. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Then I realized what was going on. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. When I started reading part 3, I've owned this comic since it came out, and I never read it. I glanced at the covers, and then it went onto my stack. And when I started reading it, like, in my memory, because it's been a couple of months now since I read 2, I don't think this connects to 2. I think 2 ended on a interesting, weird cliffhanger with Batman, or with a Shredder falling into the goose or something. But it was a happy ending. And then this one is it felt like it came out of left field for me. And I don't know, but it was a very, very good left field. I don't know. Can I already say it's the beginning of the podcast? Can I say that this is my favorite of the 3, and I think that you could read this one without reading the other 2?
Sure, absolutely, you can say that. You're not wrong. and here's the thing: even though Freddie and I'm sure Kevin and Jeremy and everybody say this is a trilogy, each one of these stories, Batman TMNT 1, 2, and 3, all do feel like they're their own thing. I actually did go back to the very end of Batman TMNT 2. And it ends just like the first one did, and just like this one does, where it's like, okay, we saved the day. It's kind of like that 80s, Murder, She Wrote, Columbo kind of ending, where there's no cliffhanger. All 3 of these, no cliffhanger, no nothing. They're either going to party with Batman or party with the Turtles, or Batman's going to have pizza by himself or with his family or whatever kind of thing. So, yes, I see these as 3 individual stories. At the same time, I can also see them as a trilogy because the fact that it's DC and IDW, it's DC creators and IDW creators working on these, and even though I was confused at first in the beginning of this, by the end of it I was like, this is awesome.
Yep.
So many awesome moments. But part of the confusion is that this is some new multiverse. And Batman has a splooch on his chest.
Yeah, that does kind of
that first image where he says, "We can't let the Smile Clan slip through our fingers again." It looks like a bird shat on his chest.
It kind of does. and I looked at the outfit with the I don't know, bands of armor or fabric around, and the orange color on his belt. I read this as, this is just Freddy decided to redesign the bat suit, and we're getting something that's a little different, which is fine. I don't mind when they do different. But then we keep flipping through, and everything's different, and it was not like what it was in the end of issue 2.
In the last trade, no, not at all.
Or the second trade. This is, but it took me way by surprise, and you get this Shredder Joker combination thing happening. All of the characters are a Turtleverse character and a Batman universe character literally splooshed together, like that 1990s amalgam comics where the DC and the Marvel people, like, they combine them. Just straight out of that, but way more awesome because Freddie Williams designed it, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, it is so cool. I will say one panel that the bat guano or the bird shit on his chest really works is the one where he's flying in to meet Shredding Joker. He's like, "You," and I'm like, "Oh, cool, that's awesome," because it kind of accentuates it. That was very cool. And all of the other villains are also amalgams, and we see a turtle in the shadows. And holy crap, it's Raph.
But he's Raph Robin.
he's Raph Robin, and hey, at least he ain't Damien. That's all I gotta say.
Or is he Raph Red Hood?
Maybe he's Raph Red Hood, but if he is Raph Robin, at least he ain't Damien. Because, no.
Yeah, I don't know about Damien in the Bat comics. I haven't read a lot of it, but every time I've read it, it's like, you're exactly the type of person that I wouldn't have patience for, and you're not cute.
I have not actively read Tomasi and Gleason's Adventures of Batman and Robin, or Batman and Robin, whatever the New 52 thing is, or whatever the current thing is with Damian. I've only ever read bits and pieces, and every time I see Damian in the various things I've read, he's this snooty, stuck-up League of Assassins or League of Shadows or whatever you want to call Raish's clan. You know, he's just an annoying little shit, pretty much. So, and I love as they're meeting each other and fighting each other. Babies, gobble those mean fat turtles right up. Oh, the babies love me. Of course, Mikey would have the hyenas, the dogs, whatever you want to call them. Of course, they're, you know. And then Raph's like, they just smell the pepperoni on you. Hey, pizza's always the path to peace.
Yeah, there are the little jokes like that, the one-liners that we not only just come to expect, but come to like, ugh, are they going to do that again? The tired kind of hooks felt more fresh in this and more interesting, and I think it's just because of the weird crossover nature of them. So despite the fact that we always get the fan service from each of the turtles' personalities, like you would expect, it does kind of at least feel new to me, and because of that, it's less heavy-handed seeming than it is in other books that we've read.
Yeah. And the thing of it is I feel that Mikey, Raph, and Donnie get more of a spotlight. Not that I don't not like that, but it just feels like Leo has a few lines here and there, but it's the other three turtles and Batman that get more of the love. Maybe I'm wrong in saying that, but it just feels that way.
Yeah, I can't think of a part that Leo played in this. There was we'll get to that part, but I should like to mention that Bebop and Rocksteady are here, but it's Rocksteady, Clayface, and Bebop Croc, and they're definitely kind of mushed together like that.
Yeah, they are. And I think Freddy did an amazing job on the panel where Batman's like, wait, Joker. I don't that image of the Joker where it's like a split face between Shredder and actual Joker face, and that's such good art. And then, of course, Joker, and of course, I can hear Mark Hamill in my head. I'm no Joker, Batman. I'm deadly serious. Blow the ceiling.
And then, I can't read Harley Quinn without hearing, what was her name?
Arlene Sorkin.
Yeah. Shopping giggles. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm not Arlene. But
yeah. So, yeah.
So we and next it goes to Jim Gordon dealing with other things happening in the city, but he has an Officer Casey Jones working with him. Looks like a straight and arrow cop doing right, not one of the Gotham corrupt. But there he is.
Yep. And we cut to Wayne Enterprises, and some teenagers keep prank calling this pizza joint around the corner, but Mr. Fox keeps paying for them. Makes me drop them all down the trash chute. It's an interesting way for them to get pizza without having to go to the street.
Well, the Bat Cave, Turtle Cave is it's downtown. It's under the sewer, and I'm looking at the spread here, the picture of what's going on in the background, and I didn't notice this in the first read through, but the giant T-Rex is actually a giant Triceratops. The giant penny is not a penny, but I think that might be a Canadian loonie or a toonie. It's got a hole in the middle of it, or maybe it's a Japanese coin. It makes sense that it would be a Japanese coin.
Yeah.
And the Turtle Van looking thing is back there. The Turtle Van Batmobile. Oh, I see it. There's a bat on the hood. So there's little Easter eggs all over that panel.
Tons of Easter eggs, yeah. And I was not expecting where this was going to go. I had no clue. And then all of a sudden, classic Eastman and Laird Raph show. I'm like, wait a minute, what's he doing here?
And as soon as he showed up, my mind goes to the 2 times they've done something like this before in the cartoons. The Turtles Forever, where they broke into Turtles Prime universe and the cranky, angry adult turtles were messing around with everybody. And then when they did it again in the 2012 Turtles series. And as an old school Turtles fan, this is how you win me over, is by like paying homage and referencing the original black and white comic. And guest artist Eastman is participating, and he's drawing his turtles into these panels. And this first turtle is very, very Eastman-like, with the black markings, and they're even replicating the duo shade, the black and white photographic paper that they use to shade and do grayscales on those comics. And as the story goes on and we see more of this Turtles Prime Raphael show up, it looks more and more like Eastman is channeling what the Turtles looked like when he and Laird were working on them together. Eastman Turtles are very hard-edged and geometric, but he's rounding them out, he's making them more squat, and it's just so neat to see that artwork.
It looks so good here. It really does. It really, really does.
And it's very well integrated. It doesn't feel like it's pasted on top. They do have the white outline that Eastman likes to do, but it doesn't feel weird.
It blends into the background of it. Like if you look at his leg, like right above the knee, you can kind of see the white outline, but it also blends into the background of the Batcave. That it works so well.
Yep.
We cut to Krang, and apparently this is Krang's multiverse, and it's Krang in a Bane robotic body or something, and we have Crisis in a half shell. Oh boy.
So funny and clever to see that. I just love it. I've they mentioned a couple of times. Well, I wonder if that's Anti-Monitor. I don't know. That
maybe yes. Anti-Monitor. Yes, that's probably what they're doing there. And it's not Bane, it's Anti-Monitor. And they even mention Anti-Monitor later, so I remember that now. There.
Oh, yep, and thanks to the magic of my cell phone, I can see that now too. I don't know anything about the character, so.
The only thing I know is what I've read and what I've seen in Crisis on the CW, because they did the Crisis on Infinite Earths for the CW TV series. So, yeah, Raph, Turtle, Prime verse Raph. All right, I need you all to listen. No, I need you to listen. How's anybody going to listen to you with your bird shit on your chest? I'm sorry, Freddie. It just looks that way.
So what they've done here with this Turtle Cave, Batman, and the Turtles, and even Alfred Splinter back here, is that not only have they combined the characters and the Bat family with the Turtles, but they've combined their origins in this Krang multiverse that he's created with the Anti-Monitor armor. He's literally combined them all, and so Batman's Alfred is Splinter. Splinter saved him after his parents were murdered, and the Turtles were there, and they were knocked into the sewer and mute. So it's such a neat way to tie.
It's such a cool way to tie it all together and make it an original, because we know, we've all seen, or at least half of us listening to this show, recording this show, most of us have seen the 87 cartoon with the boy and the turtles and he trips on a grate and the fishbowl goes down the whatever. So we know, although in this they are, incorporating TCRI and all of that, and I don't know what it is, and I get it. It is TCRI. That's what it originally was, but I'm just a huge mark for, Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze, and I wish they would do a TGRI at some point, but whatever.
Yeah, I like the way that they worked that in. So it's Techno Cosmic Research Industries. It's an Utrom company, which is why it's C.
Right.
And so when it came to the movie and they didn't have the Utroms and they wanted to just be based on Earth, Techno Global, so TGRI.
Yeah.
I always, in my headcanon, I probably talked about this before with you, but in my headcanon, Jordan Perry was an Utrom and always was an Utrom, and if he'd have taken his shirt up, there'd be a brain there. And Techno Global was just the Earth subsidiary of TCRI. And when we would have had the third movie where Krang showed up with his army, we'd have found out that TCRI is out there in space. That's what I pretend. That's my headcanon.
Mm-hmm. And sadly, we never got that because, they had to go back to feudal Japan.
Did we ever? We haven't watched that movie together, have we?
No, we have not yet.
We'll get around to it.
I'm waiting 2 years until the 30th anniversary of that film.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it gives us 2 more years to put it off.
To steal ourselves.
Yeah. You know what? There are certain things about the third Turtles movie that I absolutely love, and there are other things where I'm just like, I don't know.
Ohio wasabi. Hello, mustard.
It's a frisbee. You throw it. Yeah, I love that movie. Anyway, what I absolutely love is someone who has never read the original Eastman and Laird stuff. I absolutely love the black and white cover when Splinter goes to tell the tale of we were the Teenage Mutant Ninja. I love that black and white page. Mm-hmm. It's so good.
I've seen that art somewhere. I think Eastman released a print of that, but it's the cover to number 1, but drawn from a 3/4 perspective, and quite neat to see that done. And it's done in a softer style than Eastman's usual. It's brilliant. It's like his take on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is so good. It just, again, it fits into this universe because we have everything in this universe, from Turtles as Robins and Krangs as Anti-Monitors and Shredders as Jokers and just everything. And I love how, I'm just going to say black and white. Black and white Raph is like, here, Donnie, put this into one of them computer screen, this doohickey into one of them big computer screens. I don't think it works that way. Don't ask me. You've always been the guy that does machines. Of course, they have to fit that into everything, and that's awesome because obviously it is a thing for Donatello. And yeah, I mean, Leo has a couple of lines, but he doesn't this is more focused on Black and White Turtles, all of the other Turtles, and Batman. It's not really focused on Leo too much.
Yeah, I think Leo shined more in the first 2 trades because we had the opportunity to see Leo, the consummate martial artist, going up against Batman, and so they had that kind of leadership power struggle thing to bounce off of. Since we've done that already, we get to just, Leo can go change out in the background. It's not about leadership. This time it's about family, and these other turtles have a role in that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, man, I just feel like the contrasts of the black and white with the colors get so bright later. Oh, man. As we go through this chapter here and we see Anti-Monitor Krang when he's going to tell the story of the merging worlds and him creating his own universe, I'm just like, turn off the light bulb, please. So bright.
This is Kevin Conroy, and I am the goddamn Batman.
Okay. And see, it always helps. I always learn something new because either you see something, or as I'm flipping through it while we're recording,
you'll go catch it. Yeah,
I go catch. Yes, he's got Prime Batman strapped into that machine. That's how he merged the worlds. Yep. So the Prime Turtles are back there, and as we've seen, Raphael escaped, but he's also got Prime Batman, and he's using those two to. I got it.
Yep.
That's where he came from. See, I didn't realize that Batman was different. I didn't notice that the logo had changed or that it wasn't just the black or the white splash.
I knew immediately. As soon as I wasn't really sure, but I figured because, again, black and yellow, and he's completely different from the Batman, TMNT Batman, so. But
I can't believe I missed that. I need to check my reading comprehension.
This coming from an educator, folks.
I know, right? Hey, I teach students how to use power tools.
Well, you still have to read the instructions on the power tools, and if you don't read those right, you could lose a finger.
Sometimes. Oh my golly. I have a jacked up staple in this book. I didn't see that before either.
Boy. So, yeah, Krang, Anti-Monitor, and they all have a world to get back to, and they all want to get back to their worlds, and holy crap, this just, wow. Man, this is so cool. We're free, how did you do that? The old Houdini trick. A pick built into the callus in my hand. But you're wearing
a glove.
Yeah, you're wearing gloves. Details.
Turtles called him out on his reality breaking.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to break reality back open from the inside.
Yes, and the panels where the Prime Turtles and Prime Batman are escaping are some of my favorite in the book.
Yeah.
There's a very tall panel with Leo up front, Krang android foot robot things in the foreground, and there's splashes of color, but then the four turtles and Prime Batman in the middle. That's my favorite panel of the entire series, I think, right here.
Yeah, where they're like, the prisoners have escaped, alert Krang at once. Yeah, that. You want to talk about melding of designs. You have the main DC Universe Batman. You have Krang, foot soldier, robot-looking things. And you have the Prime, Eastman, and Laird Turtles. The colors, the lack of color, and the way the lines are, it's all so good.
My gosh. I saw it, but they did some neat stuff right here.
They did. Very much so. And then once you eventually, team them up with the other Turtles and Batman and everything else, holy crap. It is a long battle, and it is really, really cool.
There is a panel where they're trying to get Donnie to take this machine to activate it to get transported to the amalgamated universe so he can help break it apart. But Donnie's held back, and they football it to Raph, and Raph activates it because he's the only one who's able to, and he teleports to a full-page kind of cityscape, and that particular image is a callback to the first issue of the Black and White Ninja Turtle comics.
Right.
That is a page that is very special to Eastman, as when the Turtles finish their first fight, strike hard and fade away into the night. And on the Into the Night, the manhole cover is dropping back into place, and it's just a full-page spread of the city, of the street and the buildings in the background, and Laird thought, no, we don't need this big break in the middle of it. We need to use that space. We don't have a lot of space. But no, Pete, we need to have this in there. And he fought for it. And that's one of the only pages, I think, that Eastman did almost entirely by himself for that book, because they were swapping pages back and forth the whole time. So it's kind of neat to see that he did a callback to specifically the cover and then that page.
Yeah, that is so cool. That is so good as well.
With a second time around antique store on the corner.
Oh, of course. I mean, you always have to have a second time around. I mean, come on, how can you not? So this is Black and White Raph explaining to them what's going on and that the worlds are merged and you all are not really yourselves and all of that. So, and then we go back to the Smile Clan. So interesting, but Giant Brain Krang as a hologram is a little much, though. Yikes, that's a large Utrom. I love how they're like, what the hell is this junk anyway? I don't think you want to know what that is. And one thing that I always look for now, because we've heard, everyone knows, at least everyone in comics that has been in comics for decades now knows how Thomas and Martha died. And I always look for ways that are different or ways that it's done that aren't just like, oh, her pearls, oh no. Mm-hmm. And what they did here was really cool.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm as struck by this as I am, because this origin's been done a billion times. Both of these origins at this point have been done a billion times, and with its minor variations. But to see how eloquently the Turtles and the Batman have been woven together, it's neat.
Yep. And Casey Joe Chill, I was not expecting.
Are you kidding me?
I thought, yeah. Isn't that Casey?
I thought he just said he was Joe Chill. I'm looking.
He is, but I thought that was Casey the cop.
Because this would have been years and years ago. I'm trying to find Joe Chill guy.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure.
Because the pages that we're looking at now are between issues 2 and 3, so I'm going back and forth. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Oh, the name's Chill. Give me the keys. This is a stick up.
But I swear that, because again, they're amalgamating the universe. Not that Casey would ever do that, but I swear when maybe I'm the one that's confused, because when I saw his face, I was like, oh, okay, they're gonna make Casey Jones Joe Chill. That's a little
that
much.
Looks like a cop hat, but this would have been.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
Casey would have been a kid if they'd.
Yeah, that's
depending on how the time stream works there, but.
Yeah.
But these two guys are loading mutagen, stealing it or something, and.
Yep.
But the Martha and
Thomas.
Oh my gosh! Wait, I just forgot Bruce Wayne's dad's name. Thomas and Martha. They're of course coming out of the Mask of Zorro, but little Bruce sees baby turtles, and they buy him a jar of baby turtles, and they cut through the alley to get back to the car, and that truck of carrying the mutagen getting robbed. They're panicking. They've gotten the car and they're driving quickly out of the alley. And Thomas pushes little Bruce out of the way. The turtles break open and fall down the sewer, and the mutagen truck just creams Thomas and Martha. And so it's like they die, but the turtles are there, and the mutagen is there, and Splinter's there because he goes down to find the turtles, and it opens the door for Splinter to be the father figure, like Alfred is the father figure. It was just so beautifully woven together. I was like, wow. And I said, I don't exactly know why I'm so taken by this, because yes, it's obvious. Like that story tells itself. It's so compatible.
Yeah, absolutely it is. And it's an interesting way to tell the death of the Waynes without the constant retelling of how it happened. This is completely different, and it's completely fresh in my mind anyway.
Yep, and there's also and I don't know Batman like I know the Turtles, but because Batman's been around in all the movies and the comics and TV shows, like I feel like I know Batman as well. But the Turtles theme, the thing that goes through all of the series is family.
Yep.
And then we also have the Batman family. Batman's a solo loner guy, but over the years he has his Robins and his Batgirl and Azrael and Alfred and all of these, and his now son. Like, he builds the family, the support structure around him, and that is a strength for Batman, just like its family is a strength for the Turtles. I don't think that's. I'm not confident that is Batman's overarching theme. There's something more important to Batman: grief and vengeance.
Yeah, I mean it is, but it also is. It's kind of become. It's not his. Though you're right. The overall, like we've said when we cover the IDW, the actual IDW Turtles verse that started in 2011, 2012, whenever it was. The main core of the IDW Turtles over in their universe is family. With Batman, for the longest time, it was just vengeance for his parents' death and justice and the thing of, no one should, it's like, Kevin Conroy says in A Better World Part 2, I want to make this a better Gotham or Metropolis or whatever. I want to make it so no 8-year-old ever has to see his parents get killed by a punk with a gun, kind of thing. But over time, Batman, I firmly believe, has softened a little bit to the point of letting others in and letting himself be helped by Robins and Batgirls and Nightwings, oh my.
And I think one of Batman's biggest problems is, even though he has let people in by his nature and by the way he's portrayed in like Justice League comics, I would suspect that Batman already has a plan for when his family fails. And so, like, I almost don't see Batman as able or willing to completely rely on his family. And maybe there have been storytelling opportunities where that has happened for him. But I think that feels to me like it would be a core concept of Batman, that Batman's already got a plan and he's self-reliant.
For the most part. Yeah.
Because he knows how to kill the Justice League. He's already got that worked out. I mean... No. Not
kill. Contain. It's capture, not kill. Come on now. Come on. It's a contingency plan. It's not a murder plot. You're not going to find Batman on Forensic Files.
Yeah. Batman doesn't kill.
Exactly.
He occupies and distracts.
And I remember back in 2013, it was March of 2014 when we started the IDW verse, and you just told me, just wait for it, because I was like, black and white turtles. What is this, 1984? Come on! And then we get to a point,
colored bands.
I know, right? We get to a point in this book where all the turtles look like Robins and whatever else, or Red Hoods or whatever. We get to a point now where Black and White Raph is like, Leo, because Leo isn't the leader here. Batman is, but Leo says, it sounds like you have a plan. You're starting to remember who you really are, and that's great. But there are other people we need to wake up. Parts of this world we're going to need to set right. But we'll start here with these.
Colored headbands. Yeah, it's for the Batman Turtles.
Yep. And I love Red Robin or Red Hood Raph. Like, no, Leo's like, Raph, dude, seriously, no, I wear what I wear. I'm not changing my mask because some black and white version of me said so.
Oh, and then this thing here, like where Black and White Raph, like, I know your shenanigans, myself, is that you're afraid. Afraid? Oh, come on, you think you're fooling yourself? I'm you. You're not. You're totally afraid right now, and it's okay.
Yeah, it's so good.
That awareness of the characters is important to me. That and it's the one redeeming thing from the CG Megan Fox Turtles movie at the end when Raph is down and he's apologizing for being a jerk. I'm like, that is so true. So it's one of those moments there.
Absolutely.
I love it.
And they have to go find somebody, and they have to go find April. Oh boy. Meanwhile, Batman heads to his old stomping grounds, and it's smaller than I remembered. Still pretty big, though. This is just crazy. Like, seeing old Wayne Manor like this, oh wow. So cool, but so creepy.
Oh my gosh, I wondered where the last time I had seen a worn down Wayne Manor, and it's not about, like, I'm going to go rewatch. Oh, yes. Okay. Yep. It was the Zack Snyder cut Justice League. At the end of that, he goes back to Wayne Manor, and I think he's setting that up to be like the Justice League headquarters.
Probably.
It's like, I knew I'd just seen a rundown Wayne Manor. Because in the Nolan verse, Wayne Manor burns down, and he's in that modern thing by the lake, which is kind of silly. And
yeah, well, it is Chicago, so you know. And April is at Stockman. Oh wow, very cool. April is an assistant, head lab assistant or whatever, and And I love how she's like, oh, sorry, a lab assistant's work is never done. I'll just be at home with a pizza if I can get this stupid app to work. And then Miss O'Neill, the Smile Clan, shows up. Oh, boy. And, of course, we have Take 'em Down, boys. Ugh. I love Black and White Raph. I never thought I would ever say that I would absolutely love Black and White Raph, but I really dig Black and White Raph in this. It's so good.
I wonder if they could revive the Prime universe as a comic. I mean, we have volumes 1, 2, and 4 because 3 doesn't count. And 4, Laird's left 4. I don't think he's coming back to that anymore, but it would be I would like to see these turtles again, not where they are in volume 4, but in their fighting Prime. I think that would be no pun intended. But
I am glad that Donnie just said, April, quick, come with me. I'm glad he didn't go for that standard line of, April, come with me if you want to live. Like, it is so overused. And then
as soon as Donnie touches her, she remembers him because she didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And then flashing back to Wayne Manor, amalgamated Bruce finds Alfred, and that snaps Bruce back to remembering.
Yeah, Master Bruce, and I swear I could see Splinter in that Alfred, even though it's not, but, like, wow. And then, yeah, Bruce remembers, and we see that, and we see the bat, and we
the real origin.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, it's so bad. So good, but it's so bad. And we get Shredding Joker with Raph and a really cool battle here. And
I love the design of that Shredding Joker. That is that looks like it's existed for 30 years, and this is a new take on something that's ancient.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
Yeah, absolutely it is. And I love his line, "Do you bleed black and white or just some shade of gray? I wish I could learn. But a promise is a promise, Krang. I have his location." Oh, hell. What did he just do to you? It doesn't matter. Just listen. You won't win with Krang's hooks in this guy. Zap. Oh, boy. I just... Damn it.
They teleported him back, didn't they? That's
Yep. And I love how this one kind of ends off with like, as we go through this with, "My name is April O'Neil, and I think I used to know you all before whatever all of this started happening." And the fact that Raph says he was right, I was wrong, if I were going to put things back together, it's time we set ourselves right. The fact that Raph admits he's wrong, holy crap.
Mm-hmm. Is that skeptical Leo back there? I don't know.
I think so. And we need to break it back open. We fight, and we see a non-Shredder version of Orokosaki.
Hey, there's this guy, and he totally stole half of your identity. You want to go get him?
yeah, pretty much, yeah. And yeah, part 3. Holy crap.
Yeah, and it's what I kind of wonder in that instance is where. Okay, so maybe they aren't. Okay, so Alfred is over here at Wayne Manor, old man Alfred with a beard, and Splinter's down there. So it's not like they put the characters together. They're just fulfilling different roles. I was kind of wondering, like, isn't Shredder and Joker combined, and who's Orokosaki combined with right now? It really the fact that he's though kind of there being himself, it feels to me like no. Orokosaki is so powerful. Nobody dominates him. He does not come into this situation in this mixed with anybody. That would never happen. And I say that as somebody who realizes what IDW did with the Shredder. I think a lot of people have the bumbling idiot who loses all the time from the '89 cartoon. No. This is the Shredder that nobody gets in his way, and he hasn't ever really lost. He'll fight his way back from hell to be the Shredder again.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think the thing of it is because Anti-Monitor Krang was playing with the universes to create his own, Joker Shredder is an amalgam of, let's just say, 87 Shredder and BTAS Joker, or even if it's the Prime Joker from DC Universe. But you're right. You're right. This Orokosaki is the real deal Shredder, whereas the Joker Shredder is more the Joker than Shredder, and is Krang playing with these things to mix them all together to make his own desired universe. Because the reason why I know this is the IDW Shredder, it's the IDW Shredder look. It's not there is no other look to this Shredder other than IDW.
I love that the design of the Shredder has been consistent since Dan Duncan's original 12 issues. The helmet, the gauntlets, everything has been the same. And throughout all of the artists, like even the turtles will change and where their knee pads are and what straps they have around their wrists, but the Shredder is consistent. I love what IDW has done, and then DC messing around with it.
Yeah. It is so good. So I find that this, I don't want to say wraps up nicely, but issue 4 and issue 5 are a nice battle. And then issue 6 just feels like it wraps it up in a nice little bow. because in issue 4 and 5, we have the Joker and Krang trying to, Joker wants what he wants, and Krang is like, well, as long as you do what I want, you can have whatever you want. And, Joker's like, Krang, you promised me this world, and blah, 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 blah. And Krang's like, remember who you're talking to, laughing man. I have the controls of the entire reality at my fingertips, or tentacles, whichever you prefer.
Would Krang say fingertips? I don't think he would.
I don't know. I think it's just writing to,
We're not supposed to ask that question. That's a different question.
No, I know. So, we get that, and
I think throughout these two issues, there's a rapid fire realization or going one by one by our heroes to separate all the people that they can that are core to who they are. And so, we need to go find Casey and get Casey doing the right things with the mask and the sporting goods. And Batman realizes one of the key things is they need to break apart Joker Shredder here. And to do that, Bruce suggests dumping him into a vat of Ace Chemical. And so there's a group of them going out to do that. Who else are they going after?
They go after... Joker's the biggest one. And then Jim obviously comes to his senses once he sees the giant holographic Batman. And Batman, because Batman has come to his senses, he actually has the Dark Knight Returns bat on his, instead of just, a bunch of bat guano on his chest, he has the actual symbol now, which is cool. And, I love the panel with Batman and Splinter. Yes, for years I wished I could have just taken it back, just rid myself of the guilt of having helped create a monster like him. I think we've seen in this world that the monster was always inside. I suppose you're right. That full panel of Splinter and Batman together, it's so good. So good.
I'm flipping around like a madman because it's so fast-paced now.
Yeah, I mean, we have Joker Shredder showing up. We have Alfred. We have all of these other things going on. I love Joker. No, don't touch me! And he falls into the acid. I don't know that name. I don't want to remember. It's starting to come back to you. I hear laughing.
Yes, go toward the laughter.
Yes, go toward the laughter. Love the Harley thing with Batman. There's more to set right here first. Harley, do you remember who you are? I mean, that's a big question.
That's a loaded question.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Harley, my wife and I just watched the Birds of Prey movie. I think it was Birds of Prey. It was the second one with Margot Robbie.
Yep.
Which was better than I had expected. Or it was like Suicide Squad 2.5 or 1.5 or something.
Yep.
That was all right. But I hear that Harley Quinn saying something like that too.
Absolutely, yeah. And Joker,
take my hand. Yeah, why did Bruce try to stop him? I thought he went there to throw him in the chemical. I don't know. They kind of reenact that origin of the Joker.
Yeah.
That Bruce feels bad for dropping him in.
Well, she asks, what about Mr. J? And then Joker, we can beat this together. And Joker's like, oh, Batsy, I've got all the memories of both lives running through my head right now. It's enough to drive a man crazy. Me, a ninja warlord in cahoots with an all-powerful cosmic being? That's rich. But the more I think about it, a bit of chaos sure is one hell of an opportunity.
I like that too. Like even he still wants to help Krang because it's just, hey, this is gonna be weird.
You didn't really think I was going to help, did you? And holy crap, we get to what's going on now. And that panel of Joker, that first page of Now, with the red and the purple at the bottom with Batman and the Turtles and the Foot Clan and all of that and the Machine, oh my god, that is such a beautiful page. So good. I love Mikey. Yeah, man, nunchucks versus robots isn't exactly a winning combo. And Batman's like, take these, Michelangelo. Taserangs. They're like shuriken, but they'll overload their electrical systems. Have I told you how much I love you? Eat taserangs, robo-jerks. Oh, so good. So good. And, of course, Batman is going to get to the Joker, and Joker's like, robots and ninjas and giant turtles? I've had dreams saner than this. And Batman's trying to tell him that Krang is trying to control all of this, and Joker still isn't listening. And Batman has always felt up to this point that something was still missing. And then Joker says, see, Bats, you, me, the whole family, and a crowbar. It's always a good time. Crowbar? Jason.
Oh.
And that's how the whole family aspect comes in, because he remembers Jason Todd, Robin, and all of that, and Batman just bounces and leaves them there.
Batman bounces.
Yeah, Batman's like, bounce, I gotta go take care of this, and
Like, what the heck?
Yeah, it's IDW Shredder and Foot Clan and everything versus all the Turtles and April and Splinter and Anti-Monitor Krang, and holy crap, send more soldiers, kill them all. But yeah, I mean, I love our Raph. Oh, I've got a plan. That's so dope. He's just rushing to get killed by robots, and I've got a plan. I gotta up my one-liners, Mikey. I know. My one-liners are already great.
Yeah.
And we get to Batman, where he is activated the signal. And Bruce, why are you doing this? Why would you run away? I wasn't running away, Alfred. I was looking for help. Well, help will arrive. And okay, here's the thing that I will say about Leo in this. And we got the black and white Raph and our Raph. All right, you need to stay quiet. We're getting you out of here. What? What are you doing here? I didn't tell you to. I know, fighting's our thing, but maybe let's save it. This is really bizarre. It's, nice to meet you. Dude, whoa. How can I tell which one is me? I gotta get some name badges and quick.
Because Mikey can't tell the difference between them when they're black and white.
Thank you for helping.
How about initials on your belt buckles, guys?
I know, right? You think it would work. And, thank you for helping us, of course. And the two Leos bow to each other. I think that's the biggest moment Batman TMNT Leo has had this entire book.
Mm-hmm.
And
so they've ripped all of the characters out of the Krang's big evil technodrome trying to merge the worlds and open the portal. So that, I think that process has stopped, but now they need to separate everything, and that's what Batman's off to do to get more of that help that he needs.
And holy crap, the Ultra Technodrome, that thing is immense. That thing is huge.
Kind of hope that shows up back in the IDW verse at some point.
Yeah, it's so funny because you had mentioned, I think you had mentioned this either on or off air, that you hadn't read this when it first, you got it, but you never actually read it until recently. And I'm like, yeah, that's why we're doing these podcasts, folks, because I've bought all the IDW stuff. I haven't read it because I'm wanting to save it for this. And, you know, we get to this final moment of Batman has never been alone. And we see the entire Bat family show up. Batgirl, Batwoman, Robin, Nightwing, Alfred. And it's one big fight. Even the Prime Batman is here as well because he also got freed along with the Prime Turtles.
So yeah, this totally feels like a different version of the Turtles Forever cartoon where all the different versions of the Turtles came together. I mean, there's so many multiverses and continuities represented here. IDW verse, Prime Turtle verse, Batman, Prime Batman, Krang's own unique thing, because Krang has proven to be... that was an interesting take in this, too, that Krang wants to dominate the universe, and when he somehow in this comic discovered the Prime Turtleverse and that there isn't a Krang in the Prime Turtleverse universe, he figured, oh, that's why I've never been able to win, because he can't kill the Prime Turtles because he's not there. So he creates this world where he's there from the beginning to be able to kill him. Like, he's such a dominant force, and he's that way in the IDW comics as well. He's just completely relentless. The same thing with Shredder. They've managed to turn those characters into just relentless things that cross dimensions and multiverses to live out their fate or their destiny or their intention. Because Krang was the focus of those other multiverse crossover events in the 2012 series and in Turtles Forever. He was always the focal point. And it was always a big deal that Utroms were in Prime Turtleverse, but not Krang.
Right.
So neat.
Yeah. And I love how the Foot Clan is like, Joker, you twisted us, made us act without honor. You must be destroyed. Mr. J, I think that's our cue to get the hell out of here. I think you're right, Pooh. And, you know, and there's no escaping the vengeance of the Foot. It's official. The universe has finally gone insane.
And you are officially on your own here, because I had to go out and buy issues 5 and 6. I drove around all day today to prepare for this, and I only found 5. So you could carry on, and I will do my best to remember.
You'll remember. We just did this.
We just did, of course. But,
So we have the Earths are finally moving out of sync, separating from one another. We can win this if we stick together. I've got your back, Batman. Batman's got Batman's back. And yeah, it's an all-out fight for part 6. With everybody getting back to the way that they're supposed to be. And there's something I never really mentioned. We never really mentioned in this, how the Turtle Van and the Batmobile are kind of the same damn thing. And we mentioned the Batcave earlier when it was more amalgam of everything. But usually in almost every Batman book, you see some sort of multi-generational section of the Batcave with the Batmobiles, whether it's 66, whether it's 80, 89, whether it's 90, BTAS, whether it's the Tumbler, whatever it is. And in this entire book, I think we've only ever seen the Turtle Van Batmobile, and holy crap. Casey's like, April, I'm reading you loud and clear. Oh, crap. Casey's like, uh-oh. I'm in trouble. I love seeing the two Batmans work together. I love seeing the Black and White Turtles work together. And I love how... I want to make sure I got the right turtle, because the Black and Whites are always weird for me. Mikey, okay, it's both Mikeys. Hey, I'm great at distractions. Dude, what? So am I. And hey, we're whooping the Bird Boys' butt in our robo-breaking contest, so I think we can lend a hand. Damien's like, this is not a game, and even if it is, it's not fair that there are two of you. Freaking Christ.
Of course, whiny Robin.
Yeah, whiny Robin. And IDW Shredder and Casey are like, you seeing this? Yeah, we got to get the hell out of here, kind of thing. And we see all the battle of everybody, and they even use bat spray paint to, now you see us, now you don't. And it, like I said earlier, it I was fighting for them, for my family. Now let's get us back to yours. And we see that the planets are still unaligning from each other. And Casey and April get reunited, and the Ultra Technodrome is going to get blown up. And I do love I think it's Black and White Mikey. All right, dudes and dudettes, last one for the cheap seats out there. Cowabunga! And they blow up the Technodrome. Prime Universe Batman goes back to his place. Krang is basically gonna do one last, you may have destroyed it, but I can control the power. I can taste my... No one wants to taste your power. Who wants to eat brains besides zombies? Ugh. And then we have this one weird giant amalgamation of everything. Batman, Turtle, just everything before it all splits back to where it's supposed to be. And we see everyone the way they're supposed to be. And Krang is like, your multiverse will not hold. I'll kill you all. No, Krang, it's over. Batman, click, boom, gone. Krang is destroyed.
That whole amalgamated thing was not what I expected to see. I'm not sure where in space that was occurring, but okay, it happened.
It was really weird. I love the big explosion of the Ultra Technodrome because I love the panel lines on the side. So you have Donnie and Batgirl, you have Nightwing and Red Hood along with Leo, you have Batman and Raph, you have Robin and Mikey, you have Damien, I assume that's Jason Todd and Mikey, you have Damien, you have April and Casey, and you have Splinter. And we kind of close with Batgirl being like, okay, everyone needs to find solid footing. The universes are about to separate. Oh, man, this sucks. We have to go already. Yeah, we didn't even get our real memories back until it was all over. And now that the multiverses have separated, we might never see each other again. I suppose we all have one great gift from Krang, then, a memory of an entire lifetime spent together, learning and growing with each other. Oh, Splinter, how emotionally draining. The best thing for this, though, is at the very end here, when you have another panel with Batman and Splinter. Thank you, Master Splinter. Thank you for everything. And Splinter, before they fade away, goodbye, my son. We will never forget you. And we end in Batman's timeline with, him going back to Alfred saying, put in an order for a big stack of pizzas. We're staying in tonight.
Isn't that how it ended every other time?
I think so, but normally it's the Turtles and Batman together. This is just the Bat family. It's just Batgirl, Nightwing, Robin, Red Hood. It's just the Bat family here on the ending, because the Turtles go back to their universe. Because the worlds are separate, so the Turtles probably have pizza in their own universe, but I do love how it does say "the end!" ! And I do know, I'll have to edit that. I do know that both Freddie E. Williams, Jeremy Caldwell, and James Tynion IV have said that this is a trilogy. They won't do another one of these. If they were to ever do another Batman TMNT team-up, I really want it to be Batman TMNT 4, Bats in Time, or Turtles in Time, or something where they basically reenact the entire old Turtles in Time video game, but with Batman.
Issues one of the levels.
Yep, that would be so cool. At the back of the trade, you get all the variant covers and things like that. You also get the designs that Freddie E. Williams did for the characters and for the amalgam characters and things like that. So it's so cool. I love this. At first, I was really wigged out about it because I was like, what the hell is going on? However, as I got into the story and was reading, I was like, this is cool. This is something unique, something that I don't think had ever been done before, or probably won't be done again, not like this anyway, and I really dug it. I thought it was really fun.
Yeah, this was the I think on the whole, generally crossovers are a little cheesy. When those happen, you need to do this weird fan service thing back and forth, and sometimes the characters don't necessarily fit together, and I kind of got that vibe from Batman TMNT 1 and 2. Like it felt like, they fit with Batman better than I thought they were going to do, but there were those fan service moments. There were the things that you could call out. This one felt now I've forgotten the adjective that I used earlier, but it just, they wove it together elegantly. And it didn't feel forced, and it felt fresh, even though we're very familiar with everything that was occurring in there. So this is my favorite crossover event ever, and really well done. And I didn't read it right away because I just wasn't getting into the other crossovers, the other Turtle crossovers with Batman, either the animated one or this one. But nope, this one was absolutely stupendous.
Yeah, it was so good. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was super fun. It's the single-handed first time I have ever seen the classic Eastman and Laird Turtles where I didn't feel like those aren't my Turtles. Because again, if anybody has been listening to the Pullbag for the last 8 years, when we started this, I remember way back when in episode 1, when we did volume 1 of the IDW universe, I asked you, and I said where I started. You started with the comics. We obviously went to the cartoon, but for me, I started at the 87 cartoon and the 88 toys. I never read the original comics. Not that I don't want to now, but the way that Eastman and Freddie did these up within this book, I'm like, and like you said earlier, I would love for Eastman to do. Like if you had Tom Waltz writing it and you had Eastman doing, the drawing and whatever for IDW, I would love to see a new version of the classic Eastman and Laird Turtles. That would be super cool. I think it would be awesome. That would be great.
Yep. There's the original comic is a challenge. I did. My first Turtles experience was one of the action figures, and I had no concept of what this little Michelangelo decked out with weapons was. But the 87 cartoon was my intro to it, and I was a kid at the time, and so it hit me right there. But pretty quickly, I discovered the comics, either by finding one of the Archie series at the Piggly Wiggly magazine rack, because that was when you could still buy comics at the grocery store, and it was either that or I found the first publishing's color reprint of the original 3 issues in a trade paperback. I found it at a used bookstore, and I was young, and my mom bought it for me. And I remember reading that, going like, but their headbands are red. They're supposed to be colored, and Splinter's a rat, not a human. This is wrong, but it's kind of cool. And in reading the old series, I probably read it the first time in my 20s as I was like picking up the back issues, building my set. They are very bizarre and weird, and they don't follow a traditional continuity like most conventional comics. Especially in the middle of that run, it's piecemeal. The Eastman and Laird were letting other writers and artists and publishers take single issues while they were dealing with the marketing. So there is a very abridged thing that you can do to get the story that has kind of come to be the core Turtle story. But there are probably 50 issues out of that 1 through 72 that you don't need to read, because it would make no sense with anything. But boy, is there still something there in that Prime Turtleverse. And I think the fact that people keep coming back to it and buying black and white action figures and showing up in the crossover issues, like, people still want to see that.
Absolutely, they do. Like I just said, I would love to see a new version based on these designs that are in Batman TMNT 3 that IDW could do. Just a whole new story, a whole new it still have the same attitude of it. Obviously, there's still the same designs, but just new stories. All right, 0 to 5 with half points. What are you going to rate Batman TMNT 3?
Oh, I get 1 through 5 and half points? 5.5. 5.5.
No.
I don't get to cheat the system like that, do I?
No, you don't.
We'll do it.
At first I was gonna rate it a little lower, and then I went through it, and then we went through it beforehand so you could catch up to issues 5 and 6, and I'm like, yeah, this is a 5 essentially. And honestly, folks, because our system has half points, our 5 is almost just like saying a 10. But yeah, it's definitely a 5. I really dug it. I don't know if it's something I'll go back and read constantly, but now that I have read it, at some point I kind of want to go back and read all 3 of them back to back. I don't know if I could do that in one sitting, but within a day or so I probably could. But
I have no desire to go back and read 1 and 2. But,
really?
There was a hardcover at one of the stores I went to today to try to find issues 5 and 6. They had a hardcover of Batman and Turtles 3, and I had my hands on it, and I'm like, I don't want to spend, what is this, $25 to get just the one issue that I'm missing. But after this, like, I'm gonna bag and board these, and I might just have to go back and get that one.
Probably that's the best way you're gonna be able to collect it at this point.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, producer Mike here, interrupting the end of this episode of the Pull Bag. I cut out everything I said that was coming up in the show because the schedule has changed. The Pull Bag schedule has always been tentative. It is constantly changing, even though I plan a year in advance. For June and July, this is the current plan. Episode 413.5 will be Static Shock Volume 1, Supercharged. Episode 414 will be a creator-owned submission that we received at Geekcast Radio Network called Contraband. Episodes 415 and 416 will be Power Rangers, Shattered Grid, and Beyond the Grid. And episode 417 at the end of June will be Transformers Beast Wars number 4 and 5. In July, Hopefully, we will have Transformers Ghostbusters Ghost of Cybertron crossover trade discussed. Exit Stage Left, The Snagglepuss Chronicles, Transformers Beast Wars number 6. Ryan Drost's Stealth Hammer, which I supported the Kickstarter and got the comic. And in episode 420, we will be doing Radiant Black issues 5 and 6. So that's what's coming up here inside the Pull Bag. Now, back to our regularly scheduled program. The end of this episode.
Where can the people find you online, sir?
You can find me in my classroom because I really don't get online anymore, but that's a joke. Facebook.com/geekstuffgarage sale. The pandemic put us off for a year as I didn't want anybody to come to my toy show and get sick.
Yeah.
I suspect, though, that by the end of the summer and curling around into May, October time, not May, September. At the end of the summer, curling around the corner into September, we'll do another Geek Stuff Garage sale in Southwest Michigan. So you can contact me there at the page, send me a message. I'd love to hear from you. And I hope to see you at the show when we have one again, when I won't try to accidentally kill any of you with the virus.
Well, I don't think it's you that's killing people. I think it's the people not wearing masks and not getting shots and that kind of stuff that's killing people.
Yep.
Hey, at least we got rid of the orange troglodyte, so there is that.
You're not afraid to get political on your podcast and alienate your listenership?
What listenership? I didn't have any listeners. People listen to this show, really? I didn't know that. It's only one comment. It's not like it's gonna, I mean, hell, I lost an entire podcast host because somebody else said something about the former orange troglodyte. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so stupid. But anyway, you can find the Pull Bag on Facebook and Twitter and all that other good stuff. I am at TFG and Mike on Twitter. Send all hate mail to me, TFG and Mike at geekcastradio.com. I don't think that's an actual email address that you could use, but I don't know. I'm sure Steve has something set up like that for me. Who knows?
I was about to ask where I could get one of those, but I don't think I want the hate mail sent to me. But yeah, go ahead. He doesn't. That email address doesn't exist, so that's exactly where you want to send all your hate mail.
I don't know if it does or not. I've never actively used it, but anyway. Yes, it is the summertime. We are getting into a lot of cool comics here inside the Pull Bag. In July, we're going to hit one of our latest creator-owned comics, one of our submissions. So we'll be talking about that. And
I hear peas grow there as well.
Yes, in July. Yes, in July, peas grow there.
I can't every time I hear somebody say in July.
Yep. All I hear is Maurice LaMarche in my head is the brain. In July, peas grow there.
Do they really grow there?
Uh-huh. Yep. And yeah, that's going to do it for us here inside the Pull Bag. Make your great escape into comics, and we will catch you next time.
You've just heard the latest episode of The Pull Bag, the GCRN's first comic review and discussion podcast. There are several ways to get in touch with us and leave feedback for the show. You can visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on the episode and all of our different podcasts. You can rate and leave a review for the show on iTunes. Be sure to leave us feedback. Become a fan of us on Facebook, facebook.com/thepullbag. Send us an email, feedback at geekcastradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at thepullbag and at geekcastradio. So until next time, make your great escape into comics and unleash the geek in you.
Oh my god. Angel, you're cute.
Fred, don't.
Oh, but the little hands and the hair.
Hey, you're fired.